Are you in a band? Are you a musician? Do you want to make music your career? Do you want your music to be able to fund everything in your personal life? Well, stick around because this video might be helpful for you. Before we continue, my name's Nick. I run this channel here. We post a bunch of music reviews. We laugh at Christmas songs on here because I'm Jewish, and we post drum shorts twice a day on this phone camera because I'm broke. Please give me money. Without further ado, here's 6 things that your band could be doing that's hindering your progress. A lot of people, when they start a band, they want the band to go somewhere. Unless the band is more of a fun project or something they do on the side for fun, everybody wants to be a rock star at one point. So what are some things that you could be doing that are hindering your progress in becoming that rock star you've always dreamed of? Well, let's try looking at some of these. Number 1, overdoing the social media. Now, in the modern era where social media has become an all-consuming giant in people's lives, there are people who are spending countless hours every day scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, you name the social media app, they're scrolling and looking at things. People are entertained for hours and hours and hours just scrolling through their phone and watching videos. And for all the people who are spending countless hours, they're seeing all sorts of things and all sorts of ideas and projects. So what is a great way to market yourself? Well, obviously to get on those apps. But what's something that can also be a poison to your band? Relying too much on those apps. You can name probably like 5 TikTok bands right off the top of your head right now. Oftentimes these bands kind of sound something like this. Day 7 of playing this song in a row until Jack Black responds to us. Ah! Or even like, guess who the drummer is? And then obviously it's like, okay, yeah, we can kind of tell who the drummer is, just like, please, that is annoying. The point being, you don't want to market yourself as a TikTok band because at the end of the day, people are going to realize, oh, they're making a meme. Oh, wait, do they play music? That's not the goal you want. You want your music to be what gets you famous, and you want your music to be what funds your pockets, not the memes, because once people stop liking the memes, you lose the fan base. The problem with being a TikTok band is that it's not a solid fan base, and oftentimes people forget about the fact that you're a musician. You're writing songs. Oftentimes, people aren't appealed by the songs, they're appealed by the memes. So do you want your band to be a joke, or do you want them to be musicians and be respected? Okay, that's what I thought. Don't be a TikTok band. Please don't. Number 2, not doing enough social media. Now, the problem is that, like I said, in the modern day and age, things have changed as far as how we distribute our music. But there are still some people that hold on to the old idea of getting a recording device, putting a pillow over it, everybody jamming out in the garage, and then them going and distributing a mixtape amongst everybody, and going to a bunch of metal shows and handing out CDs that nobody's going to listen to. And the problem with this is that this just doesn't work anymore. Oh, well, this is still going to work. We're going to record our demo. We're going to pass it out at shows. People are going to love it. We're the heaviest band ever. No, you're not. I guarantee you're not. Besides for that point, and unfortunately, modern day technology has antiquated previous ways and methods that we would listen to music. For an example, I guarantee you don't have a cassette player. If you do, by God, how old are you? Like, I'm not that old, but I remember we had a VHS player. I don't know how many of you people remember growing up with VHS, but VHS was awesome, man. Like, you actually got to watch the film rewind inside the little cassette and then sitting there watching it frame by frame. It's like, wow. And then when the movie's done, the little VHS projector just opens up. This has been a weird tangent. Regardless of that, unfortunately, the old style of putting out your music and promoting yourself just doesn't work anymore. Nowadays, you kind of have to get on social media if you want to get anywhere. And if you don't decide to get on social media and market yourself, unfortunately, that just teaches you bad marketing. Because are you going to do the same thing when it comes to selling your merch? If you're not doing this at the end of your shows, all right, thanks everyone for coming out. We got t-shirts in the back. We're going to be over by our merch stand. Come meet us, say hey, pick up a shirt while you're over there. They're only $15. Then how are you going to actually make some money from your merch? Generally, that's just bad marketing, am I right? So the same applies to when you're actually promoting yourself. You want to find a way to actually get yourself out there without being too much of a TikTok band. So here's a couple tips for you. Get on there. Post often, don't post too often, and don't make it all about the memes. Make sure that you're putting your music forward. Do something kind of cool and share it. Put a couple hashtags under your video that are kind of relevant and put it out there. And I guarantee you that you will build an audience pretty darn quickly. And there'll be a solid audience who actually likes your music. Number 3, making music that's hard to grasp. A lot of this comes down to the actual band members that are in there. What kind of music are you writing? What's your audience base? And how good are your members in your band? If your vocalist is a deathcore vocalist per se, this doesn't apply to every genre of music and all that. This more specifically applies to like death metal, deathcore and all that. And he sounds like this. Okay. That's great. But what did you just say? Are you making your lyrics publicly available to people? Better yet, is your vocalist enunciating his words? Is he making himself easy to understand? That can be a problem if he's not. So if he's not doing that and he's just grabbing the mic and going, tell him he needs to fix that. It may hurt his ego in the short run, but in the long run, it is a lot more beneficial for you and your band to get out there and market yourselves better if people can understand what you're saying. You can incorporate things and elements into your music that actually makes it easy to grasp and easy to understand and makes people want to listen to it it more. So just consider that when you're actually writing music. Don't go too overboard and make things hard to understand for people, because at the end of the day, if people don't understand it, they're not going to want to grab it and they're not going to want to remember it. It oftentimes just doesn't latch into people's minds if it's just not too memorable or something that's hard to grasp. That can oftentimes kill your ability to grow an audience. Number 4, lack of originality. I see this problem a lot with a bunch of local bands around my area. I won't say any I won't say any names in particular. Now, there's quite a few of them that don't do this that I absolutely love and adore. In fact, actually, I'll plug them right now. You've got Yeet Cleaver. I'm just saying, they're a phenomenal band. They're absolutely great. If you want Unga Bunga, they got Unga Bunga. Poor Vita, they've got that classic sludge rock. It's easy to understand vocals. It just sounds great. They're opening for Soulfly in February on Valentine's Day. That's an achievement on its own. Point being, these guys have something that's a little bit different. Originality. So like per se, I like Chelsea Grin. I like some songs that they've written. Right now, my new favorite one, The Isness, one of the newer releases that they had from the newer album. It's a great song. It's pretty catchy. I like it. Regardless, if I like the original of Chelsea Grin, why am I going to want to hear a ripoff of Chelsea Grin? If you're busy listening to a band and you're getting inspired by them, hey, I want to write a song, and you just straight rip them off, you're really cutting your fan base in half. A lot of people don't want to listen to a ripoff. They'd rather listen to the original. So be an original. If you want to take inspiration from somebody, here's a great way to apply inspiration. Look at the way that they wrote the song and then use that as an augmentation to the way you already write. Because I guarantee the way that you write music is the way that people want to listen to music. So make sure that when you're doing inspiration or anything like that, you're not directly taking from the artist, but you're kind of saying, I like how they did this. Let me try that, but in my way. It oftentimes makes things a lot better for you in the long run when you do things like that. Plus, knockoff bands are just not really looked at twice. Number 5, being political. This is where things get kind of dicey, because then that's where people are like, oh, well, there's plenty of political bands out there. Rage Against the Machine. Controversial opinion. I don't think Rage Against the Machine is that good. I think they're overhyped, overrated. I don't think they're that great. Oftentimes when bands start to get political, the first thing that they do is they cut their potential audience in half. This is super harmful, especially if you're trying to start a band and trying to get as many people on your side as possible. And that's not just the fan base you already have, your potential fan base, because then people will start telling other people, oh, that guy, I don't like him because of how he stands on politics. That just generally is not a good area to dive into. Not only that, but especially in local bands, it is a killer. It's just generally just a bad move to play, especially starting out. If you want to get political later on, your choice. If then, and at the same time, that's also your funeral, because that can oftentimes kill your career. But oftentimes when you get political at a show, people oftentimes don't like it. And they oftentimes feel uncomfortable and they don't want to listen to your music anymore. It makes things less enjoyable. Anybody who knows me personally knows when it comes to music and my band, we don't talk about politics. That's just something we do not do. In my personal life, that's something I'll talk about, and I'll talk about things that I'm passionate about on the YouTube channel and on my band. You're not getting anything out of me. If I'm trying to build a fan base, I don't want to cut my fan base in half. I want to be able to unite people in some way. Number 6, not taking time to make a plan. So this is something not a lot of bands do in general. It's make a plan. What are you trying to accomplish with your music? What are you trying to do? In what time frame are you trying to get this thing off and running off the ground? So per se, as an example, I'll bring up my band. Back in the summer of 2019, 6 members in the band. I remember at one point we had 6 members. Now we're down to 2. We decided to make what's called a 5-year plan. In the 5-year plan, we detailed, we want to release so many songs. We want to release a demo. We want to start doing this and this and this. Things that are beneficial from this are you're a lot more focused on your goals. You're a lot more focused on the problems that you need to fine tune and fix. So that way writing music actually is a lot easier for you. The problems with not doing this is that you're all over the place. Nobody's really kind of connected with each other. And if none of the people are on the same page, well, that just leads to a lot of problems itself. Oftentimes before you even start a band, you want to set a 5-year plan. Just because it gets everybody on the same page and everybody kind of has their tasks all aligned, it makes things a whole lot easier for everybody in the long run. So what are some things you can do? Sit down, write up. It can be a 3-year plan. It can be a 4-year plan. It can be a 1-year plan. What are some things you want to do this year with your band? All it takes is a little bit of time sitting down with your bandmates, just going, what do we want to do? Where do we want to take this? And how do we want to make this our career? With that being said, this is the end of the video, but stick around for just a second. I just have one thing I wanted to say. So this has been about a year since I really started posting seriously on this channel. And in that time, we've made leaps and bounds. I've gotten almost 500,000 views total on YouTube, which is, wow, absolutely mind-boggling. And I want to thank you guys for that. You guys have been really awesome. Thanks for helping me get so far with my subscriber count. Thanks for helping watch these videos and sharing these with your friends. I have nothing but thanks for you guys. We each post drum shorts twice a day. We post long-form videos like this whenever we get get the chance to. We like to have fun on here, so like, come on. Let's spread the vibes. So we'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers. What are some things that you thought about in this video that applied to you? Drop a comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.